Derek from Prevail. Thanks for joining us on a peek behind the lines with Australia Lions. How you going?
I'm I love that. First of all, we how you going? I don't hear that very often until we get over to Australia, but I'm going very well, man. How you doing?
Yeah, doing well, doing well. Sitting here talking to you, a man who seems to be addicted to coming to Australia. You just keep on coming, and the audiences just keep on getting bigger.
Hey, we keep getting the offers. We'll keep coming, man. This is I fucking love it here.
That's awesome. Now, of course, you are down under for this enormous Parkway Drive 20-year anniversary tour, which is hitting arenas all around the country, starting tomorrow night in Brisbane. What does it feel like to be part of this epic celebration for a band as iconic as Parkway Drive?
I Yeah, this is it hasn't even started yet, and this is my favorite tour ever in the last 10 years of I Prevail. Parkway is one of the bands that for me, I don't know if I'd be doing what I'm doing if it wasn't for Parkway and a few other bands. So to be able over here celebrating in Australia in these arenas to massive crowds, super lucky, super blessed that they reached out to us to invite us over. So we're just gonna have to, bring the heat on these shows.
Yeah, man. Bringing the heat is something you did today. You just dropped a new single with All Time Low, and it is called Hate This Song. I had a
Yeah.
listen to this, and I'm predicting that a lot of people will love this song, but they will learn to hate it because it gets stuck in their head for so damn long. This chorus is an earworm and a half. What was it like putting this one together with All Time Low?
Oh man, it's a cool experience. They sent us over. So we got hit up. Our manager was like, "Hey, we got this cool opportunity. All Time Low sent us a track and wants to know if you guys want to feature on it." Like, oh, yeah, yeah, all right. And checked out the song, and the song was like all done, and it just had like this instrumental kind of bridge, and the chorus was there. After hearing that chorus, like, okay, yeah, this is money. This is a great chorus, and so we reached back and we're like, well, what songs kind of don't. What would you like us to do? Just sing over a part or something? And they're like, no, we want you to put the I Prevail, inject the I Prevail into it. So we got to retrack the second verse of Brian, add some flavor in the last chorus, but we were like, all right, well, let's keep the song as is, but let's really inject I Prevail into the bridge, and that was a fun challenge because like we were like, I don't know, do they just want it to be like, do they want the poppier melodic side of I Prevail, or are they expecting like the modern metal side of us? So that was like our first shot. We wrote this bridge and we had the lyric, and we just wrote the lyrics and tracked it out. They actually came to Detroit to play a show. I went and saw the show, hung out with them, showed them the song, and they're like, "Oh, this is sick!" And we're like, "Hell yeah, glad you guys like it." So, um, yeah, it was a really cool experience, man, to be able to do we did a collab with a band called Hailstorm back in the States. So just did a co-headline with, and now this, and it's a lot of fun to flex the creative muscle to write something outside of what we typically do. And I think that just helps for us in the future while we're just starting to write a little bit for our own, for writing I Prevail demos. And it's to be able to flex that creative muscle to write something outside of the norm for us. um we've learned a lot, we've tried a lot of things, and we found some things that we're like, oh whoa, we can really inject this into I Prevail and still have it be like the heavy, what is I Prevail. But yeah, it's fun to collaborate outside the box of and outside the norm of what we're used to doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you're commenting on starting to put together new tracks, which would be working up to the follow-up to True Power, I suppose. Now, the last time you were out in Australia, you were, of course, promoting that record, and you played to some fairly insane crowds on a sold-out tour. What can people expect different from you on this Parkway run than what they saw the last time you were out?
Oh man. So other than the fest we did, when we're doing a headliner, you kind of people are going to be there to see you, and you want to have a good mixture of, for us, we have the poppier stuff, we have the down the middle rock stuff, we got the stuff that's like got a little more production and maybe hip hop and stuff added to it, and then we got the really heavy stuff. So we know that our fan base wants to hear all of it, so we crafting a set list that's got you take that ride, that roller coaster ride. But on a bill like this, where you have Void Division and the Ghost Inside, who are both awesome bands and awesome people. And they're just rippers, and they got some bangers. And then you got Parkway Drive, who, I mean, they're just the epitome of what modern metalcore is. You know what I mean? Like they're the one of the pillars. And we knew that, given the set time that we have, we could fit in a couple ballads and really give like the people, a full spectrum of what I Prevail is. But in spirit of celebrating 20 years of metal with Parkway Drive, we're like, let's put together a gassed up set. Let's talk very minimally. Let's just get song. And there's probably going to be a lot of people that don't know who we are and that are Parkway fans. Let's give them the heat. Let's give them all the heavy shit. And so I think we got a cool set list worked out. We got some cool little things built in this set. But man, I'm excited to rip a set, go change, and then go to the front of the house and watch Parkway every night, man. Because this is gonna be something special, man.
It's not often we get bands of this nature playing arenas in Australia, I must say. So it's pretty cool to have these kind of stadium sized performances coming from acts that originate in this scene. And for you, your band has been on this like endless ascent in the last few years. And I wonder if seeing what Parkway are doing here in these arenas in Australia might be an indication of what's ahead for you. Is that the future you're chasing?
Oh man, I mean, I think that's the future. Any metal band, any rock band, any band is chasing is to have their music reach the most amount of people, and the bigger the shows, the more people, the more we get in, the more we can put out, So we want to put on the biggest, wildest show. So, you want to grow, and you want to bring in more people. You want to get to these stages. So to be able to watch and see what Parkway does, I'm gonna have my notebook out and just gonna learn from the best, man. And yeah, I like you don't see this even in the States. Like there's no metal band that's selling out arenas. So this is truly something very special that you guys have here. You guys have some legends.
It's so cool to hear coming from someone in your position too, and to hear you gassing up the Australian scene like that and Parkway like that. But Parkway Drive fans have a real love for the original OG material, and they've been craving for so long for them to return to playing songs like "Killing with a Smile." I'm curious, what do you consider to be the "I Prevail" equivalent of people craving like "Romance is Dead"?
Oh man, I if I don't hear "Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em," I'm gonna be a little bummed. But I'm sure they got some other songs on there that I'm not even thinking of that I'm gonna be just as happy. But I don't, man, I don't know. I Parkway's just got such a diverse and huge discography that it's kind of hard to compare, a couple records to that. Maybe some stuff off our first release, the EP. There's some songs there we haven't. Dude, I don't even know if I remember how to play some of them because it's been so long. But who knows? This year will be 10 years of I Prevail. Maybe in another 10 years we'll have to bust some of them out. But yeah, I'd have to say probably some stuff off the EP that we haven't touched in nearly a decade.
That's right. Is there a song in your set that you're particularly looking forward to unearthing in this environment? Like one you've always wanted to have the chance to play with, just like all the pyro and the stadium environment?
Yeah, there's a lot of songs on True Power that we debuted on this debuted over the last like year. Obviously the record's only a couple years old, but Visceral we just threw in the set. Was it this last co-headliner, I think was the first time we played it. And it's amphitheaters. There's all these seats, and we wrote that song. I remember writing that song, and that riff came in, and Steve had that riff ready. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to see kids lose their shit. I can't wait to see the biggest pits to these. And when you're playing to amphitheaters and it's just all seats, it's kind of like, kids are, banging their head, or they're like just standing and watching. And it's, you know, we feed off the energy from the crowd. If the crowd's going nuts, I'm turning it up, and if I'm putting it out there, I'm hoping I'm getting that back. So it's I'm really excited to play. There's a couple of these songs that we haven't really played to a big open floor, so I'm really excited to see some circle pits and some walls of death and whatever y'all want to do out there.
It just sounds like an amazing time, really. And it's not often that you get a chance to just have this type of a bill where like every band is going to be going for it and trying to one up one another, and trying to get the biggest wall of death or the biggest circle pit. Just a cool moment for people that are into this style of music down under. But and also a cool moment for I Prevail. Do you think we'll see you back in Australia again on a headline run? Say next year, year after, sometime after this experience is done.
Oh yeah, I think right now we're kind of working the plans for the following. We got a couple months off. We're starting to announce some festivals in Europe, and we're lining up some stuff in the States, and things like that. But Australia, if we're not back within a year and a half, we're doing something wrong. So it's on the books. It's slated. It's we just gotta squeeze it in with all the other stuff we're working on. But we were just talking, me and some of the crew. It's like, I think this is our fifth time in 10 years. And then you got to count in the first year or so that we were touring and we were just in the States, and then the 2 or 3 years of the world being shut down. So we got a pretty good track record of all the years touring that we always make sure that 16-hour flight from the States sucks, but it's more than worth it when we get to come over here and play to y'all. It's metal here is appreciated in a different way than it is anywhere else in the world, and I love that.
That's awesome. You know what I want to hear? I want to hear an I Prevail song in Australian English. So you know how Parkway did the German songs?
Yeah.
I would love to hear you busting out some I Prevail in your best Australian accent. That's something that someone at a label needs to make happen at some point in time.
Yeah, well, we'll get out. I just don't want to offend anyone with my piss poor accents.
That's awesome, man. Just before we go, is there anything that stands out from your previous trips down under? As you said, you've done a stack that makes you particularly keen for this run you're about to do. Any killer stories?
Well, I know that we got a couple days off, which is rare for us when we come over here. It's usually like show, fly, show, day off, fly, show, fly, show. So now we have a couple like walkaways where we play. We have a day off, and then we go back and play the same city. I'm so excited to finally have some days off in different cities and actually be able to go walk around and check it out. I was just telling one of our dudes, like, it's cool. We pulled up to the airport. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to stop at that restaurant and that bar in there and grab a beer. And then there's that shop across. I'm going to stop and grab a snack for the flight. And how crazy it is that I'm on the other side of the world and I'm just familiar with where I've been. And sadly, it's only really the airport and the hotels. But I can't wait to have that with like find my favorite coffee spot now, or there's a down the street from the hotel we're at today is this dope wing spot I went to last time, and I'm stoked to go back there. So it's awesome to be able to now have extra time and extra days to go and explore and find my new usual spots in a place halfway around the world. I'm truly lucky. I'm truly lucky. lucky to be where I'm at, doing what I'm at, and doing what I'm doing. And I'm so grateful for anyone listening or watching this, and who's ever supported or listened even to just half a song. It means the world.
That's awesome, man. Well, that's our time here today. I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out here and give us a little bit of insight into what's going on in the world of I Prevail ahead of this killer Parkway tour. We'll be sure to check you out in Melbourne, which is where I am. The last shows you did here were mind blowing, so I can only imagine what it's going to look like on that stage.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I don't even know what to expect. I We were rehearsing the last couple days, and we were in the same building next the room over from Parkway, and some of the crew was like, "Oh yeah, we walked in there and they got this and they're doing." I was like, "Shut up, shut up! I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I want to be surprised. I want to see it. I don't even want to know." So I'm super excited for these shows. It's gonna be legendary, man.